Tips and tricks to hit your protein targets. Protein is the most important macronutrient when you want to improve your body composition. That means losing fat. Losing fat while maintaining or growing muscle. Protein plays 3 roles in the body. Number 1, it prepares the damaged muscles. Number 2, it maintains the muscles. Number 3, it grows new muscle. This is why we need protein. So how do we make sure you get enough for your goal? According to studies, you need about 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kg of your body weight for you to maintain or grow muscles when you're losing fat. How do we make sure you get enough? Now, I know protein is quite expensive and not everyone can reach the level we need to reach. So I make sure everyone I'm working with, even me, you at least get 100 grams per day. That's the amount I aim for. So how do we make sure you are able to do this? Simple. You need to make good food choices. In this video, I'll talk about 2 people. One person has the money and they do not struggle with the expensive part of the protein. For them, what do? Very simple. Make your foods to be very, very simple, and you do it this way. 1 source of protein, 1 source of carbohydrates, vegetables, and cooking oil. That's it. That should be your food for the day. For example, for the carbohydrates, you can go for something like sweet potatoes. Then for the protein, you can pick any. I'm going to show you a list. For example, let's say you go for chicken breast as your source of protein and you go for sweet potatoes as your source of carbohydrates, then whatever vegetables you like and your cooking oil. That's how you should prepare your meals. 1 source of protein, 1 source of carbs, your vegetables and your cooking oil. That's it, and your meal is complete. The idea of wanting variety, wanting new things here and there, that will make it harder for you to achieve the goals you're going to achieve. It does not mean you will not achieve the goals, but it will be harder. It's easier and better for you to make things just simple like that. I'm going to show you the list of carbohydrates, the list of protein, and the things you can be choosing from. You can pick one here, one here, one here, and you'll be fine in your journey. This is for people who do not struggle when it comes to buying expensive food. In this case, protein. Now, let's go to the next person. A person who doesn't have that much money in their disposal to get protein from 1 single source. Why? For example, I am a small person. I'm not big. If I want to get protein and my goal is 100 grams per day, and I decide to get this protein from something like chicken breast, I need half a kg of that chicken breast. Lean beef, which is very lean, it has no fat, it has no bones. I will need about half a kg of that. That's quite expensive. That's why those who can afford it should do it. Now, for those who cannot afford it, what you can do is you can still get your chicken breast. You can still get your lean beef, but in small quantities. For example, let's say you do 200 grams of your lean beef. Then to top up until you get to about 100 grams, you use other sources. You can add some eggs there. You can add some lentils there. At the end of the day, you end up getting the same amount of protein as that person who has money. For example, like in my case, I can go for something like lentils. I take about 300 grams of raw lentils, I weigh them and I cook them. Then I add something like 70 grams of soy chunks. These 2 already have given me 100 grams of protein. You can play around with something like this. You do some lentils here, you do your beef here, you do some eggs here, and you play around with them and see if they'll give you 100 grams. How do you do it so that it's easier for you? You do this by planning in advance. Do not wait until the moment you're going to cook for you to plan. No, take the app in your phone, log in the food. So log in the amount of meat, log in the amount of soy chunks, the amount of lentils, the amount of eggs. Then see, do some try and error. Remove others, add others before you prepare. So you already know. Like in my case, I take the app and I put in the soy chunks because I know I have 70 grams. Then I see how much protein I have and how much protein is remaining. Then I start playing around with the lentils and see how many of them I need to use for me to get the protein I need. Then I find out. The moment I find out, I have logged for the day. Then I go and prepare. Do not go and prepare, then log, or start logging when you're preparing. No, plan in advance. First of all, use the app and input the data. Then, if the data works the right way, now go prepare your food. That's the best way to go about this if you are struggling with protein. In case you need to talk to me about all of this, do not worry. you can jump on a call with me using the link in my description. We are going to talk about your number one goal, your number one struggle, and at the end of that call, I will give you a game plan to get you started.